Yeah. I think Jane's got some stuff typed up, got one of the things typed up, but you can go online if you wanna look at it. I've been doing it for a couple of the other ones, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was, when I was down there, I wasn't even thinking, I don't think I had anything else. You had all the other stuff.
Well, there's your levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you, well, yeah, I brought that one, orange one, I think. Yeah, I did.
Down there still.
Yeah. I just, yeah, I don't think Tanner's even used it yet. They wanna get the floor tile. Kinda sticky.
Boy, if they pull the old tiles off.
Yeah, they did, yeah. Yeah, they did that.
All right, it's 5:30. I call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any question or any discussion? All for say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda, can I get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on that or comments? If not, all for say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll now have open forum. If there's anyone here to speak for open forum, come on up, state your name and address, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jenny Calton, and I'm a member of the Board of Directors with CARE, Community Action Respecting Elders here in Foley. I don't live in the city limits, but representing CARE at 321 6th Avenue. Speaking for the board and staff at CARE, I've come today to thank you very much for your generous, annually budgeted support of CARE and the seniors we serve. By your generosity and the dedication of volunteers, seniors are supported to continue living independently in the home of their choice. And now we are throughout Benton County and its surrounding areas, which is why we changed our name from Foley Area Care to CARE. One of the things I want you to know is that when COVID hit, it shed light on the food insecurities in Benton County. And it was the donations from caring donors like the City of Foley, the City Council, that helped CARE deliver over 146 tons of food to the community. The board and staff at CARE look forward to visiting with all of you at our next Touching Tables for Seniors in October, and I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me.
One more thing, I'm sorry. On Thursday, CARE is having an event, our pork chop dinner and silent auction in Dwelm. I have 2 free tickets if anybody has not purchased their tickets yet that I would like to give away. So if anybody's interested, just let me know.
Very generous, thank you.
What's the date on that?
Thursday.
Okay.
Anyone else to speak? Dave Campbell's got a name up here, if not interested. We'll go forward from that. I don't have anything to add tonight. Wastewater Regionalization Project, Jared Vogie.
Evening, Mayor and Council. 2 items before you this evening. The first one regarding the wastewater treatment plant is the change order number 1 for Geislinger and Sons associated with the project. Change order consists of modifications made to metering equipment at the connection location as well as control panels and structure modifications at the connection location. The breakdown is in your packet this evening. You can see as you go through it structure modifications on the first page, the controls and equipment metering supplies after that. Change order represents approximately 3.3% of the contract amount, and we've reviewed this with both the contractor, City of St. Cloud. Everything included in it is been approved by St. Cloud, so we are recommending approval of the change order for the wastewater regionalization project in the amount of $546,569.88. Pause for any questions.
Anyone got any questions about? Anyone have any questions about that?
This is just unforeseen things.
Yeah, so actually what the change order, the history, if you will, of the change order. So throughout the entire process, we've been collaborating with City of St. Cloud. We submitted the plans and specifications to them for review. While the project was out for bids, we did get some specifications back from them about their standard equipment, and they do have some very specific control panels, flow metering equipment. That came back during the bidding process. So what we had in the project, we pulled that out and created an allowance. So then when the contractor was on board, we sent the approved items from St. Cloud to the contractor for pricing, and that's what this represents. Yep.
No further questions. I entertain a motion.
Motion to accept change order number 1.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All for say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passed.
Second item this evening is pay estimate number 8 for the wastewater project. The pay estimate recommended amount to Geislinger and Sons is $155,032.83. Just in terms of the, where that puts us in terms of project completion as an overall project cost, it's approximately 51%, which is based on the amount of pipe they have in the ground and all of that, that matches really well. The appropriate retainage has been withheld, and we are recommending payment to Geislinger and Sons in the amount of $155,032.83. Maybe by way of just a project update, we did have a construction meeting again today. The Geislinger does have 2 crews in town working. One of them's working out by the main lift station. The other one is installing the gravity sewer from the Broadway lift station towards the park area. They do intend to have 2 crews remain in town and continue working on that. They've got some cleanup to do that was left over from the construction last year, and as soon as things continue to dry out, they've got some pipe pieces and just miscellaneous project debris that they need to pick up, and a couple drainage items to correct. But other than that, they're in town and they're working and keep moving the project forward. So with that, I'd answer any questions that council might have.
Are our pumps on schedule?
Yeah, so I think I shared last time at the last council meeting, we were informed at that project meeting that the transformers were a long delay or a long lead time. I think at that point they had estimated July or August. Now at the meeting today we were told September, so the supply chain issues continue to be a real thing, and we'll keep pushing forward as hard as we can under those constraints.
And then the odor control building, is that a separate change order that's included in the price?
That's included in the project.
Oh, what a deal.
Yep.
Go ahead. Was that your question?
Any other supply chain concerns?
None that have been expressed yet. I know the generator at the main lift, that was indicated that was going to be a long lead time. I haven't heard any additional concerns on that. I have heard that since, and the electrical contractor shared with us at the last meeting prior, that the lead times have increased on those, but since ours is ordered, we're still on track for that. So that's good news.
Good.
Any other questions for Mr. Vogie? If not, I'd entertain a motion for pay application number 8.
I'll make a motion to approve pay application number 8 in the amount of $155.32.83.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all four say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passed.
Thanks, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Winter Festival update, Louisa Thompson.
Hi everyone. So we came and spoke to you last year about our proposition for a winter event in downtown Foley, and we wanted to talk to you about how that's going, and so we have had a few meetings about how we're going to fund it and sponsorship, and we've realised that this year we're not going to be able to put sponsorship together by this Christmas. So we are looking at Christmas 24, to organise all of that sponsorship. However, this year we would like to have a tree lighting event in the town. So that involves a tree, obviously. But that requires a few things as well that we need to talk about, which is, the size of the tree, building something for the tree to sit on and hold it up. you know, anchoring it, etc. The power source because we need lights for the tree. What else? Possibly security. We do have a school choir enlisted to sing carols as we light the tree, and if Mr. Mayor would be so kind as to do the honours and flick the switch, that would be great. So and then we need to fundraise this year for Winterfest next year. So that, have I missed anything?
No, I think you covered everything.
Okay.
And I did have a chance to talk to Mark from Public Works
Yeah.
about the tree size. Apparently there isn't really a restriction on how tall of a tree we can put up.
Right.
And also, maybe we can work something out with getting electricity to the area.
Yes. Oh, and the,
Mark's gonna look into that.
right. And we were proposing to put it at the top of 4th Avenue and Main Street. Do we know who owns that lot, or is it a city lot? The empty lot?
City lot? Okay,
Is
City
it
lot.
city? Okay.
so you're talking down,
Yes.
Right at the end of the street.
gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Yep.
past the Legion. So the idea is that everybody coming through town can see it.
Perfect.
And you know, maybe have some hot chocolate and you know that sort of thing. But that's what we're starting with. So that's phase 1 of Winterfest for this year.
I covered pretty much covered.
Yeah.
So no need to block off the streets, no need for garbage disposal, cleanup, that type of thing. So.
Do you have anything that you want to ask us or suggest?
I like that idea, just for initial year, just something small to start out with, and then you can
Yeah.
always grow from there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little bit too big, too fast.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for a tree lighting and all those things, yes. Anyone else have any questions?
Well, if you need help in carpentry, I'd be more than happy to help.
Yeah, we'll need a tree stand, maybe.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we will.
Let's design it.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Very good.
That's it. Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right, number 8, excuse me, consider removal of sprinkler sewer charges, ordinance 475. I'm bringing this back before council. We talked about this last year in July, and I don't know how many people have copies in front of them, but so what it would be is person would have to buy a separate meter from the city, have it installed, or get a plumbing permit, have it installed, and we're gonna check it once it's installed. And then you will be charged water rate for all 12 months of the year. And then anything over, you get $2,500 a month, anything over 100 gallons, you get charged at the water rate. So during this prime sprinkling times, of course, that's what we're looking at. Anyone, first of all, we'll start with the council. Anyone have any discussion or questions or hindrances or?
You mentioned all 12 months,
Correct,
but we're specifically talking about watering the yard.
correct. If it goes into the sewer, that's different. I had a individual ask me about it today, and it would be going into his sewer for his purpose of business, so it's gotta be strictly yard, not going into the sewer. And if you wanted to shut it off, it's 150 on and 150 off. We're not gonna play cat and mouse, turning water on and off all in the off seasons.
So does this mean that if we go with this, this isn't a let's try it out type of thing, because these people are putting fairly substantial amount of money into putting in a meter? This, once we give the approval or disapproval, it is fact for Foley?
Yes, And then there's also, it's written in there, if an individual, I'll use myself as an example, if I decide to sell my property and I have a sprinkler system with the meter, I have to, what's the word?
Disclose it.
There it is.
Yep.
Disclose it to the next buyer. So if that buyer didn't want it, I'd have to pay to have it shut off or removed or whatever, stipulations there, but, so that was something I was looking at as well. Anyone else?
With regards to the considerations, both from legal and our admin, this unit would only allow for, facilitate a lawn irrigation system, not someone who's going to fill up their pool or set up a, we'll call it a sprinkler for the kids or what have you. That would still be charged our normal.
It should be lawn sprinkling only.
Correct.
And there's a way for us to be able to tell if they're filling up pools and charging them the correct amount of water and sewer.
Mark Pappenfuss, I would go to you on this because the way I was explained was, once it's plumbed in, you're gonna check it, or one of your staff is gonna check to make sure it's just running to the sprinkler, correct?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be if we're gonna proceed, we may have to just have final discussion on that. And can you put a T in there? And cause people aren't gonna just do it for filling a pool. You're not gonna pay a year's worth of minimum water rates to save that little bit of money.
Right.
So, I did talk to Mayor Brosh a little bit, and like I said, if this is gonna happen, I think we have some fine tuning to do of probably that's gonna be the biggest topic. And if you wanna disconnect it, how you're gonna disconnect it.
And I thought you said there was a way of putting a lock onto
That's,
it.
we could require a lockable valve. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It just, the one comment we wanted to provide is we get a lot of calls and questions about getting a deduction for filling their pool. So that's why I wanted to bring that to your attention, because that's it seems like more and more people have their own pools too. I don't know.
Do they fill their pools with their hose, or are they going out to the fire department and saying, can you deliver a load of water?
Well, we get that question too, but no, they're mostly filling it through their hose and being charged both rates.
Wow.
My concern is, we're talking irrigation, now we're talking an irrigation system underground, correct? Or are we talking a sprinkler sitting on top of a lawn?
I would assume it's gonna be an irrigation system if it's plumbed in at the house.
So there would have to be a stipulation on that also.
Sure.
Okay. I would like to hear from the public.
Absolutely.
More. I would like to have a public hearing on this.
We don't have to, but I think it's proper we should.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
only-
not, I just want to hear from the public to
Yeah.
see what they say, because after all, it's gonna affect a lot of other people. I mean, myself, I'm not, I spend a lot of money on water for flowers and gardens. I don't spend it on the lawn, but I want to hear from the people how they feel. I'm not opposed to it, but I think we just have to fine tune this a little bit more. So I encourage the public to be at a public hearing.
With that said, is there anyone public here tonight that would like to question or answer, or something we could go further with on this? Name and address, please.
Bruce Thompson, 1133 Golf Court. Thank you for considering it. I was the one that brought it last year and again this year. Other cities do have this, so I mean, if there's questions on how to word it or anything like that, I guess I can call around, but somebody should know who another city is that does have it. I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel here. But yeah, we're asking for the underground sprinkler. I'm sure that, yeah, you're gonna have somebody that just waters flowers. I got one that just wants to put a hose out, you're gonna have that. That'll come up at a public hearing. But again, what we're asking for is something that's plumbed in with a meter, done right. And yeah, 12 months out of the year, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I can see you gotta have something. You know, the other way is, and I don't know if the new system that the city's getting, as far as software, if it would be able to, you know, go from a January bill to say a July bill as far as water usage, what somebody uses. You know, that's another way too. And again, some other cities I'm sure have that. But yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you for considering it, and we'll wait for the public hearing and speak again.
I'm Larry Netto, 161 4th Avenue South, and I just became aware that this was a topic again years ago. I was one of a group of people that advocated for this to the point we are now, and it didn't get very far at that time. And so I think there's value in keeping well-kept properties that look good around town, and whether it's residential or commercial. I have a sprinkler system at both, and you know, appreciate you taking this up. And yeah, it certainly is done in lots of communities, and I think at that time I did research and called cities, and it was either an average or a separate meter were the two predominant ways that it was dealt with. And so yeah, look forward to coming to the public hearing, and appreciate you considering it. I want to keep a nice green lawn.
Sarah, would we just have to go ahead then and,
Yeah.
well, do we have to go 4/5 right now, or do we gotta do a
No.
public hearing?
We need to do a public hearing first before we can adopt an ordinance. So I'll just ask you to make a motion to call for a public hearing, and then we'll schedule that for the next meeting.
Okay.
And then one thing I will add is, we may have some answers on our
Yep.
grant money by then too. That would also, I think, provide a lot of, I guess, less heartburn for, you know, some of us and that concern with financing the project. So I think that would help as well.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak now for or against this sprinkler consideration? If not, then we will entertain a motion for a public hearing next meeting on the same topic.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other further discussion?
Let's encourage the public to be at that meeting. We want to hear from you, please.
Any other discussion? If not, all four say aye.
Aye.
Against? All right, motion carried for a public hearing. Department reports. Police Chief Katie McMillan.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, first we'll start off with our April stat report. We had 370 calls. We did get a lot of hours for TZD enforcement. So we have 18, and the focus was distracted driving. Some things to point out, we had gun permits are up, and city ordinance violations were up. Reminder to residents, make sure your yards are clear of any garbage, miscellaneous items, tires, old furniture. I mean, we just had the cleanup day, so a lot of that items hopefully left your yards. Just make sure you have them clean of that, otherwise you get a lovely letter from the city. Other than that, that's about it. Nothing really points out too much. On May 13th is prom for the city of Foley, and so they're over in Piers, and our SRO, Officer Viction, will be at that. Last day for the seniors and also Tractor Day is May 26th, so you'll see a lot of tractors coming through town. Last day for everyone else is June 1st, and graduation is June 3rd. And starting even next week, a lot of the classes are heading to the parks, so we will be assisting them with stopping traffic and getting them to the parks. And then the last thing on our list is the bike rodeo is June 17th, And we are working hard at planning that and getting that all situated and ready to go. That is all I have, unless you have something for me.
One question I have is Tractor Day.
Mhm.
Is there any way we can tell the students not to bring the biggest tractor that someone owns in through town? I mean, I see combines, I see triple axle tire, I mean, you name it. And then you see a little lawn tractor. I
Yep.
mean, that's not the, I would just like to encourage the students, don't bring the biggest tractor that someone owns. If that can be passed through the school.
We can try, but there's nothing that prohibits it.
Right.
We could try, so.
Thank you. Any other questions for the chief?
I like to see the 18 hours of TZD, and under the speed, the 48 calls, were a lot of that, did those coincide with the TZD hours?
Yes, the speed was with because distracted driving and speed kind of
Yep.
go hand in hand, so yeah, that was up because of the TCD was up there, yes.
Okay. Thank you. I
Yes.
like to see that. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Katie. City Engineer Jared Griffith.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. One quick thing in the packet tonight. In your packet, you will see plans for the push button system to be change ordered into the 25-23 project. We've talked about this at the last few council meetings, so I think you're all pretty aware of what's in the plans here as far as solar system at the Broadway intersection, and then also a solar system at the Penn and 8th intersection. One thing to highlight, I guess, through design, at the Broadway intersection, due to the depth of that storm sewer on the east side of the intersection, we had to have a separate post for the ADS or APS push button. So the beacon itself will be a few feet away, so there'll be two different posts on that south side of the intersection there. But everything else should be what we've talked about the last few months. Met with city staff, they approved locations, particularly the one on would be the northeast quadrant of the Broadway intersection. As far as that one's, want to make sure that one's okay for plowing purposes, since it's on the inside of the sidewalk there. But with that, we are looking for approval of these plans contingent upon the approval from the state traffic engineer, who he is currently, or who they are currently reviewing them right now.
Is there advanced ped? I never drove 23. I keep gonna look, but I never drive it to look. So is there advanced peds already in place? Pedestrian crossing signs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the only question I had. Anyone else have any questions on this?
Mr. Mayor, you have the most experience into this.
Yeah.
Does it look good?
Yeah, I mean, they work. I mean,
Yep.
whether when we were down at the Capitol or when I've been down at Children's, I don't know how many times, you push the button, it flashes, people stop. So, or at least slow down and know that something's up.
Yeah.
So,
If I could, Mr. Mayor.
go ahead.
I just want to clarify too, the actual equipment itself will be eligible for reimbursement for the funds.
Good.
Good news. If not, any other questions on this, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this? If not, all four say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Thank you.
And then, do you have anything else?
That is all I have.
Okay.
I don't have any updates on the actual project yet. Still, last I heard was the 15th is when they're thinking about starting up, which I
That's what I was
mentioned
gonna
at the
ask
last
you. So
council
for,
meeting, but I haven't heard anything from Rob with MnDOT yet.
I talked to him.
You got something else, Mark?
Well, wait, is it done? Can I switch?
well, so, are we detouring through town to 66? Is that the plan?
Through town to 6.
Oh, all the way to 6?
Being it's a state aid and it's got shoulders,
Okay,
they want the wider.
yep.
They're not gonna redo the striping on Broadway, kick that over. We might just do some local in-house, a block of no parking there, at Dombrowski block. But the trucks knocked all the center cones down anyhow, so why spend all that money?
Oh, you're talking.
Remember we kicked the road?
No,
over to
yeah,
the-
I got you now.
So we might just do no parking that block if we got it to speed the trucks in and out and, you know. That is the plan.
Okay.
It is, as of this morning, it was the 15th. Michael's tried to push it to the 22nd.
Are we waiting on road restrictions?
They'll be done by then, right?
My phone isn't
But it was supposed
buzzed.
to be in April, whatever. Michael's already pushed it a month, and then is what Rob said, and then, they tried to push it another week, and I guess MinDOT's like, we gotta start.
Okay.
They are looking till July 20-something. 23rd is my mind, but that's a Sunday, so it's July something. They're gonna have like an 8-week period to do that closure. So it's gonna be lengthy.
And they have the box culverts?
Supposedly they have the box covers.
Okay.
I do have one question on the roundabout. I've been down that road now twice taking, I think it's Penn, and that's where the roundabout comes in. And I've seen more than one driver, because it's a very short curbing or median or whatever you want to call that, they've gone into the wrong lane because it's such a busy spot right there. You go here, you go there. And I've seen 2 people go the wrong direction. And 2 tells me that's all I've seen, and I've only taken that route 4 times. So the marking or something, an arrow, I don't care. I've never seen such a short little curbing on that street. I can see where people don't know.
You're talking about the entrance of the leg off of Penn onto the, so I'm gonna call it the north leg of that roundabout.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what went into the design of that, but if I had to guess, it had something to do with the entrance.
And that's what, I think too, that, you know, there's that.
There's a service road there.
There's a service road. I don't know if you can put yellow solid lines to keep people.
Okay.
That'd be a
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But something's gonna happen if we don't do something.
But that's a standard MinDOT roundabout, single lane roundabout, so it's them all over the state.
I know, but I've never seen one with that short of a
Like-
curbing.
Median.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Griffith? Thank you. Public Works and Fire, Mark Pappenfuss.
Mr. Mayor, Council, keep it short. Starting our spring stuff finally, we've been flushing mains, so a lot of discoloration of water. We're not even a fourth of the way yet. Probably less than a fourth. We'll keep doing that. Sweeping streets, they've been hitting that hard. Parks will be open, I hope, by about the middle of May. And like I say, we'll be doing the pool so we can get that pumped out by the middle of May so we can have it ready by the beginning of June. We are gonna do some spring jetting. We have our problem spots and we're trying to make it where we do some in the spring and some in the fall now. I'll be getting some summer help. We did get more apps than I need, which we had, some years we struggle. So we'll bring it back next year next month when we bring the pool stuff Sarah will talk about. But I'm not sure if we're gonna do 2 or 3. We gotta see. For sure we'd like to get 2, possibly 3, depends on if the kids wanna work 40 hours or do you wanna work 3 days a week, So I'll have that next month. Other than that, I don't know if I have anything specific for you unless you have questions.
So the compost will probably be open more with just the work being done out there as well?
Yeah.
I don't like to say that out loud, but that's the truth of it, correct?
It was, yeah.
So what days is it gonna be?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. we say.
Okay.
And most days we try to open it earlier, and a lot of times, I think we told PD if, get it locked sometime at night, then whatever. So.
I have a question about the heavy equipment in Lions, is that Lion Den Park or Lions Park?
Yeah.
There's two big pieces of machinery right by the playground area. And I've gone over and talked to kids a couple times who have been climbing on them on a Sunday afternoon. And it might be something, I don't know if that's something more drive-bys the park. I don't know how long that machinery is gonna be there. But the kids are climbing all over it.
Should be out of there in the next couple weeks, I would think.
Okay.
They're straight out from the shelter today, and they're moving south, whatever direction that is, there the world turns, so.
Well, what I've been doing is just telling them what happens if they fall on their heads. So.
Parental responsibility is.
Yep, I agree, but.
Anything else? Otherwise, I'm good, I think, thank you.
Nothing on fire?
I don't think so tonight, no.
Okay. Administration, Sarah Brunn.
Okay, Mr. Mayor and Council, first item, pool refund policy. Have you had a chance to look over that? Any questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, if you are good with that, I will, have you consider a motion to adopt that. Or I can bring back any changes you would like.
My one question was, why wouldn't we have a part of it that would allow a substitution of another student in a pool, in a lesson, like Sarah Molesloff when her daughter broke her arm? Why wouldn't we, instead of refunding even and losing the fee for the pool, why wouldn't we let them substitute another swimmer? Is there a reason for that?
The only thing is we might be out our admin, because we'd have to re-register it, but that would probably be it. It probably could be something as long as it's the same class,
Yeah.
the same level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we can't be adding to classes that are full or so forth, but I mean, it could be, we could add that if you wanted to. I would probably recommend just the same admin fee, because if we do have to change the program fee within the,
I totally
the red
agree,
class.
yeah.
Okay.
Just it
I
seems
don't-
substitution would be good.
Yeah, I mean, the only other, yeah, I don't see any other that I can think of, and I can double check with the staff and the pool manager as well.
Accept a motion to approve the pool refund policy. If
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second it.
motion's been made and seconded, any other questions or
With the
discussion?
change.
With the change?
That's a question to you. Do you wanna put it in the change or not? That
Well,
you just
isn't it
said.
on there already if medical refund request is
No,
approved?
she was asking about just substituting a person.
Substitute a different swimmer for the lesson,
I
for the class.
I understand that, but I mean, then you gotta put a time frame to it, 'cause her deal last year was a Thursday and the class started Monday.
Right.
Well, good luck finding in 3 days.
I also would clarify, it wouldn't be our responsibility to find a substitution.
No.
We can add it in if we want.
I feel it needs to be added in. It's a reasonable, parents know other parents who have other kids that maybe didn't get in on the pool census, or however we, if we let them have 6 swimmers. A lot of parents have those links to the community that they could, oh yeah, my daughter just broke her arm. Is your son still interested? Whatever. So I do think it's something, yes, it's the parent's responsibility within a certain amount of time, but medical emergencies don't happen on a schedule.
Any other discussion on this?
So are we going to,
So we'll, the motion is made and seconded with the allowance of a substitute provided by the parent of the injured or sick individual.
I would clarify that the motion and second are okay with that change.
Motion and second, okay with that change.
Or
I'm
start over.
confused.
Start over.
I thought that's all covered down here. I don't
I'd
understand.
probably recommend to start over.
I thought this was pretty self-explanatory and easy to,
All they're asking,
that.
all Councilwoman Mathewitz is asking is allow for substitution by the parent or guardian of the individual that would be injured to find a substitution for that person.
Subject to admin fees for the change.
So
It's
would
up
you
to
like,
you
would you
guys.
like to motion that, Gary? And all it's saying
will
is,
make
all
that-
it's saying is we're not gonna go out and find someone, the parent's gonna find the substitute.
Wouldn't we still be accomplishing that if someone got injured, they wanted a refund, we'd give them a refund. And if they wanted to let Miss Johnson know that there's an opening from her child's injury, she
Yeah.
could call the city and pay the fee to register their child.
Sure.
It's one or the other. Yes, you're absolutely right, yeah.
One less hurdle.
It just saves us the hassle of refunding, is all it would do, a portion.
So the same goal could be achieved,
Mhm.
just one step.
Yeah,
yes,
correct.
I agree.
Would you like to motion?
I like what he said, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Amended motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all four say aye.
Aye.
Against. Motion carried.
Okay, I'll just continue with, pool applications. We had 19, lifeguard, pool attendant applications. That's pretty high for us, so that's good. What we are sorting out now though is how many are lifeguards, how many are certified WSI. There was some, hold up at the Red Cross on getting certifications. They were backlogged months. So, our pool manager's looping back to all those people to see where we're at. We have in years past had to hurry up and certify a few more for WSI, so I'll work with the pool manager to see what kind of options we have with that and keep you posted. I don't have all the information on how exactly our numbers sit, because we're still working through those applications, but I will keep you informed, and we will do what we can. We usually seem to find a way every year to get, a few more certified, working with the school and so forth. I'll let you know. Other thing I wanted to let you know, we did have audit, that went well. That was a lot of stuff that we covered in audit, and we will have a report next month, for the council to review in a presentation by our auditors. If you were contacted by the auditors, please respond. If you're having any trouble with responding, let me know and I can connect you with the auditors. But they do randomly select council members to ask questions for them. That's important that you respond to those each year.
I worked an event with Schlenner and Wenner, and they said they enjoy doing our audit.
Yeah, our audit
Yep.
has gone very well, so we're very fortunate with that. Also, the item I had contacted the council about with the commercial building inspection, we do have an inspection scheduled tomorrow, so hopefully that issue will resolve. I will keep you posted if there's any other items related to that. Legislative side of things, there's a ton of conference committees going on. I encourage you, as well as anybody in the public, to, tune into what's going on. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of bills, a lot of changes coming, and so it's important for everybody to be aware of what is going on. No news, I don't know if anybody else has heard anything on significant movement on an all-cash bonding bill. It's probably gonna be one of the last things they do. Session is 2.5 weeks left, about.
I have not
May
received,
15th.
I have not
Yeah.
received a email back from any representatives within the last month on anything I've sent them.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an update, and I usually get a call from Schultz once a week, and I haven't gotten one for 2 weeks either, so. Yeah, I'll keep you posted when I hear anything. Otherwise, all the sessions are on, YouTube.
Yep.
And, also Twitter, if you follow any of the, the House, Senate side, they both have their channels, and they'll kind of post little updates. That's always a good spot to find little tidbits and where you need to tune in. Trying to think of anything else. Last thing is I need to select a representative for the joint county, city, township meeting. As you can see, the county did ask, just due to spacing, that we select a couple reps. If you wanna choose 2 council members, that would be wonderful. I do not need to attend. If if there's space is an issue, that's not a problem. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to collaborate with our local elected officials. And especially with some of the projects we have going and cooperation that we've seen, I think it's great to continue that energy. So I'll leave it up to you how you wanna handle it.
Gary already said he is out of town that day. Is anyone else interested in representing?
I'll go.
I'm available.
How about you, Deb?
Actually, no, I'm not available.
Okay.
That works.
I'll be a third if there's space.
Okay, and if so, just let me know, Mr. Mayor, so I can post it
10-4.
as a meeting. But that's fine, I think it'll be a good meeting and a good opportunity. I don't think I have anything else unless you have questions for me.
We're still on schedule for Friday to tour
Yes, yep. We, Councilmember Gondik, Councilmember Voigt, and myself will be touring the county building on Friday, and then we're gonna follow up with department heads another day, to look at that. So we'll hopefully have some information for your next meeting.
So you're talking about this inspection, I'm assuming, if that doesn't go through or happen, that there won't be any events being held Saturday.
Correct, yeah. But we do have an inspection scheduled tomorrow,
Okay.
so hopefully that issue will resolve.
How did our delinquent water bills turn out?
Actually, we're sitting pretty good. We were less than 40, I think, left on the list. Does that sound right? Yep. So they're coming in. The good news is when you do monthlies, the amounts are lower, because it just keeps up with itself. I think we will get it down to a normal level. From what it looks like, it looks pretty similar to what we've seen.
And what is that date?
Wednesday of next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, I'll just stress, if you talk to anybody and they're having some issues, reach out sooner than later. We have some financial assistance options we can give them that they can apply for. And we'd rather get them the help and resolve it versus being shut off and then we have to deal with it.
Very good. Anything else for administration? Hearing none, old business. Anyone? New business. Mayor's comments in second open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak in open forum? If not, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
we do.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Name and address, please.
Laura Thielen, 705 13th Avenue. So I've been in contact with the MnDOT manager about construction over the past year. Kind of we've had like this email thread going on. Right by 13th Avenue, the speed had dropped a little bit and they added the turn lane. And I think, Sarah, you might have been CC'd on the most recent email. And so I just saw that the meeting was tonight, so I thought this would be a good time to bring it up. I had asked for different speed limit signs to be placed in the area by our road. And he said that it is a city thing, that it's not MnDOT, that it's up to the city where the speed limit signs are placed. So I just came to give the request here. When I live right on the edge of 13th Avenue, so when people are rounding the corner, I think the speed limit might be 55, but nobody does it. And there was a speed study done once construction was complete, and it did show that people are driving slower by TLC. 10 miles slower, in fact, as compared to before the construction. But that does not change their speed by our street. So when people are coming from east of Foley, driving past us, they are flying. And we do have that turn lane now, so that's great. It's like when we're turning left onto our road. So it's safer with the turn lane. However, they go from having their lane, so we have a right turn lane when you're heading into Foley. But when you get past 13th Avenue, the lane that you're driving in becomes the curb. There is no shoulder. Eventually this summer, they're adding a walking path in. But the lane is very narrow, and they did that on purpose so that people would try to slow down. Well, people are not slowing down. So when you're in the left turn lane, turning onto 13th Avenue, the people that are coming to town are driving very fast. So my request is that there's like an LED speed limit that flashes that shows them placed east of 13th Avenue. I don't know how far, so that people will start slowing down before they reach 13th Avenue. Because if that were the case, you know, we have, on last count, it was like 38 children on our street. By now it's more, you know, and a lot of them are young teenagers who are driving. And so the construction project is great, and it gives us that safe turn lane in. However, people are still driving really fast into town. And then in addition to that, when people are driving east out of town, once they hit that TLC area, they increase their speed. Like the road just looks bigger and people just start driving faster. And we do have that left turn lane, so it is safer. The roads are narrower, but I'm also requesting that we have another speed limit sign at some point after TLC, like before the bridge, so that just a reminder for folks that the speed is still not 55 yet, you know, it's still 45 there. And one of the things that was suggested was that perhaps, you know, local law enforcement can help. But, you know, in the list of everything that's going on in a month is pretty big, so they might not have time to just sit by our street to watch drivers. So, you know, so my request, again, is just kind of like maybe the big flashing light, which might be on hand, or just more speed limits, or like just signs to maybe get people to slow down a little bit.
Mark, is that speed flashing sign going back up, or what's gonna happen with that?
Yeah. I think I was on you wrote the email.
Okay,
So
yep.
I talked to Rob Abfalt, he's the project manager,
Yep.
quite a while today. That's the part the city's responsible for. The additional signs will be a MnDOT thing.
Oh, it is.
Yep. And he said he definitely will look into it. He's not promising anything, but he says he will, so that's not a dead issue there.
So additional
We're
signs will be
responsible
from
for
them.
that speed limit. The problem we're having is we go east to 13th,
Yeah.
those cars that come around that curve, they're gonna be doing 60 yet, and it's gonna say 60.
Yep.
It's picking the speed up, you know, a quarter mile back.
Yep, but, and so like even if, and maybe, so we have the flashing speed sign that shows them their speed, and then another like speed limit sign, cause the speed limit drops before our street, or
Yeah,
before 13th
but there's not
Avenue,
enough
but-
straightaway there. We talked to Nick Bishkoff from Design,
so
who will
you're
put it
saying that
in.
it wouldn't
He thinks it
accurately
might have to
reflect
go
it.
west of your 13th Avenue a little ways.
So then would it be a MnDOT thing to get more signs added
Yep,
east
and
of us?
Rob is the
And then-
one I think he wants to get the bridge in and all that,
Yeah, which
and,
I
but he
understand.
did say he's open to looking another one like by TLC, so I would think he would, you know, going in, so he probably,
Yeah, or the one by TLC would be like going out, because if you put it by TLC going in, people are still gonna be driving fast past us, and they're still.
but we're only responsible for the radar feedback sign. And the rest is MnDOT.
So all the signs or anything is all MnDOT,
MnDOT would
so
be
there's no
MnDOT, yeah,
signs
except
that we
that-
could post or anything?
We added that, that's an
Yep.
enhancement that we added.
And we're working on, someone's gonna do a permit for us here, maybe the next day or two, and
Okay,
we gotta do a new
so I
permit.
mean, even if
Okay.
it shows them going fast, like that could still possibly bring awareness for them to slow down?
But if it says 60 all the time, I think we're defeating the purpose. You know, you wanna get a straightaway, you know.
I mean, but it might scare them into slowing down, you know, if they are doing 55, and they're like, what, 60? Maybe. No,
I can,
okay,
I can.
That's
s-
all I have,
I can
thank you
s-
for your
I-
time.
I can speak from experience. I put one of those up in Rice as you come into Rice from the west on County Road 2, right by the ball fields. And that goes down to 30 or 35, I can't remember which.
Mhm.
That thing is flashing all the time. No one ever gets it down to where it's supposed to be. I'm just not playing devil's advocate
Yep,
here.
yep,
I'm just
nope, I
gonna
understand.
tell
So
you the
then
truth. It does probably
perhaps-
slow some people down though,
Yeah.
yes.
So then maybe just to bring it to the awareness of local law enforcement, if there's any downtime, if anybody wanted to camp out in my yard, that would be completely fine, to just slow everybody down. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak now? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All four say aye.
Aye.
Council is adjourned.
Way it sounds, we have to
Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
Yeah, we're talking over here.